Morning. What are y'all up to? Huh. There's a lot here from Mr. Bandit TV. There. I do not have. Apparently, there's no sound in this, so I don't know why.
Seen by two eyewitnesses.
All right, just the beginning. If y'all don't want to watch, y'all ain't gotta watch. I honestly, at this point, just at this point. Dang, bro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bandit Network TV, and welcome back to the AIDAN CLUNE case. If you are not familiar with the disappearance of AIDAN CLUNE, he was 19 at the time of him going missing. He was last physically seen by two eyewitnesses on April 27, 2022, at mile marker 23 on US 93, approximately 50 miles south of Wells, Nevada. The last person to have contact with AIDAN was his mother, Amy. This was on the 26th of April, 2022. During this time, it is believed that AIDAN was staying at the Motel 6 in Wells, Nevada. Approximately 6:23 a.m. the next day, on the 27th of April, it is believed that AIDAN checked out of the Motel 6 and started driving southbound towards the ghost town of Curry, Nevada. It is still unknown why exactly AIDAN was driving southbound towards Curry, which only consists of about 20 people. It's one of the many question marks that are in the AIDAN CLUNE case that remain unanswered. In order to better understand the AIDAN CLUNE case, you must go back prior to AIDAN's disappearance. AIDAN is from Sonoma County, California. Prior to him disappearing, he started his new job, which he only worked at for one day. However, he quit due to remarks and gestures made by a previous coworker of his. Going back even further to February of 2022, it is said that AIDAN went up to Washington to visit his cousin Jordan along with his uncle. They planned on getting an apartment together, and AIDAN was excited to graduate high school and begin his life into adulthood. Shortly after arriving in Washington, Amy, his mother, received a disturbing phone call from AIDAN where he was claiming allegations against his uncle and his cousin. This confused Amy because she never heard any allegations prior to Aidan's phone call where he was claiming these things against his uncle or cousin. However, Aidan insisted on staying in Washington and trying to find another place to live. Aidan eventually found some family associates who allowed him to stay there temporarily. It was during this time period that Amy received another disturbing phone call from said person, who asked if Aidan had mental problems. Amy was once again taken back by this questioning, but it was during this time period she knew something was seriously wrong. After Aidan came back from that trip, it's said by his family and associates that his sporadic behavior changed for the worse. This would eventually lead to him taking a road trip to Salt Lake City, Utah, to live with his grandparents. However, this never ended up happening, and it was during this road trip that Aidan disappeared and ran off mysteriously into the Cherry Creek mountain range for an unknown reason. Why did Aidan flee Sonoma County? Who or what could he have been running from? Why did he feel the need to leave? These are questions you have to ask when looking into the case of Aidan Clune. Mental health does play a factor. However, what onset this episode? Did Aidan Clune purposely disappear and perhaps does not want to be found? One of the statements that Amy Clune, his mother, said in a recent interview done with a YouTuber, there was a receipt for black hair dye found on his bank account. Was Aidan trying to change his appearance prior to him disappearing? Why did the two eyewitnesses?
That is interesting. Huh. That is interesting. That that came out because if you go back to this morning, the one I did early this morning, my time, I did. If you go back to the one I did early, the first video I did on Mr. CLUNE, you will hear the Unfound talk about an incident that happened with um someone with a female pulling a prank on him, and it affected him. Could that be why he changed his hair to try not to be so recognizable? Huh, that might be something. Let's keep listening, see what else Bandit has to say. These two are the only other, Bandit and the Unfound are the only two I've seen that's done any videos on Mr. CLUNE.
That saw Aidan run off into the Cherry Creek mountain range, do nothing, or say anything to him. Even after they witnessed the Nevada State Highway Patrol officer pull up at 8:50 a.m. and issue Aidan's 2007 maroon Nissan Frontier a ticket, closed and locked the door, and drove off. If anything, you can chop it down to a bad moral compass. So many unanswered questions in this case. If you have any information on the disappearance of Aidan Clune, please contact Elko County Sheriff's Dispatch at 775-777-7300. Again, that number is 775-777-7300. Please only submit credible tips and
So, there was a ticket on his window. Where are you, sir? There you are. Thank you. Now, I reached out to Bandit TV Network. Good morning. I reached out to Bandit TV Network and, well, Bandit Network. And this morning, just before I went live here, well, this afternoon, and asked him if I could use his videos. So, and he said it wasn't a problem as long as I gave him the proper, respect. Thank you, Bandit. You brought up a valid point that I missed going over the Unfound video, or did not get to yet. So that could coincide with some of the mental issues he had. Was this female that pranked him somebody he had a crush on? Was it, what kind of prank was it? All these small things are key factors in this young man just getting out of his truck and taking and walking off. Just saying. Now we're back to the Unfound. Okay? He's a YouTuber that actually he's one of the only two YouTubers that's gone over Aidan's case. He's actually spoke to the mother on a call. You will hear her again here soon. But I am going to put this out there. If none of you appreciate going over this case, then I don't know what to tell you. We're locked in. We're doing this.
He struggled with athletics. He had a food, he had a food intolerance when he was younger, and it became very acute. And so, physically, he was unable to, he had no endurance, no energy, and we found that problem. And I eliminated some stuff from his diet, and this went on for I don't know, 9 months, a year. And when I figured it out, he woke up one morning and was like, "Hi, Mama," and he was just clear as a bell.
Wow.
And so after that, and he was also falling in the percentile. He was down to the 16th, or I think the lowest he got was the 11th percentile, and he just wasn't growing.
Wow.
And he, so after that, he did start to grow, and he started to get energy. And I think his junior year, he actually joined track for a short time. And he skateboarded a lot. He started learning to play guitar, along with the left side stuff again. And he learned how to play guitar in middle school with this great middle school program that they had, and he really enjoyed it. And so that's where his music took off. And he also loved to play Pokemon Go. He did a lot of that. He had a great sense of humor, very advanced. Like I said, his comprehension was pretty high. But also with humor, he got stuff that a lot of his friends didn't get. And he has such a good sense of humor. He does have a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And so it was, he was a deep thinker too, very thoughtful, kind of ponderer, pondering about, he would ask me questions, he'd be in the car, ask me a really serious question. Why is this like that? Why is this like that, Mom?
What kind? Yeah, maybe get into that. What kind of relationship did you and he have?
Well, we were close because it was me and him, and it was just me and him.
Okay.
And he had some close friends, and that we became friends with the family and stuff. There were relationships like that and stuff, and I have a very close friend, and we went to their family gatherings all the time. And so we had an extended kind of family, a family that wasn't biological. My family's kind of all over the place. They're Florida, they're on both.
So key points: young man had depression. By the sounds of it, he had depression. Has depression. But also, by the sounds of it, he was focused on some things. There was the girlfriend. There was the girl that pranked him, which could have caused the depression. The father has been missing his whole life. May get more information here on that in the video we are going over. I'm not completely sure. Like I said, I jumped the gun on this one because, yeah, I did. But the information we have are from two of our own, and the woman speaking is his mother. And in this case, Mama knows more than the Papa would. So, but it still doesn't explain. It still doesn't explain why he left his truck. Was there something wrong with the truck? Was it out of gas? I mean, these things, and then take off on foot, but leave all electronics behind. It doesn't seem right. And was there anybody in the truck with him? That's another question.
Coast, Michigan, all over,
Mm-hmm.
And so we were pretty close, and we really connected through humor. And so AIDAN was like, he didn't lie to me. He like some kids tell fibs, but AIDAN was kind of self-possessed, like in a way, like where if he didn't want to talk about it, he'd say, "I'm not going to talk about that with you, Mom."
Yeah.
He could just be honest like that, pretty honest like that with me. So he was forthright a lot with me.
Okay.
As well. Yeah.
Okay.
And we used to play board games. We'd like to play. We would play Sorry all the time, and Scrabble, and we would sit by the fire. And he really wanted a dog, but I was a single mom working a lot, and that was, so that I think his love for dogs, he came out of yearning for wanting one, but I didn't feel like I could take care of it. I'm not a person who wants to leave a dog alone all day.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, we did have cats and other little pets, that were easier to take care of, and he was always very gentle and loving with animals, and he was I have to say he was pretty easy to, in a lot of ways growing up as a child. He was an easy child, like he picked things up quick and was very good and listened to me,
Okay. Now, I know there's something we have to talk about that might have been a big influence on him. Of course, we have to remember he was just 19 years old when he went missing. Very young guy here. But there
That's a whole lot of area to be searching. Those are, let's see, what are they? There's a ridge. There's tracks all over up there.
there was something that went on that you had brought up. Once again, how much you want to say about it is up to you, but it had something to do with some girl, I guess was kind of his girlfriend, but then kind of tricked him or something. And you said this really might have had a really detrimental effect on his mental health.
Well, Aiden had a couple of, that wasn't the first time that he was kind of like had a problem with someone who kind of like came at him and was a part of some kind of greater plan, like literally was like.
So he was targeted and bullied. Is that what I'm getting so far? He was targeted and bullied and made to be the butt of the joke.
Forethought, there was one that happened in grade school where a student came to him and wanted him to do something bad because they were mad at their friend. He's just sitting there minding his own business, but he got really in trouble for that, and the student who masterminded all this, nothing. Mm-hmm. And so I actually took him out of that school because I could see what was happening, and it was not good. So that was like in third grade. That was the first time I put Aiden into art therapy so that he could deal with that. He was kind of traumatized by the way he was being treated. And the next school he went to was a great school. That's where he learned to play guitar. Things were much better there for him. And so then later, middle school was kind of, there wasn't anything major going on there. But this girl that you're talking about, she was not his girlfriend.
Okay.
She wasn't, he didn't go to the same school as her. He had a girlfriend, and she wasn't it. And what this young lady, I was hoping that she felt remorseful about what she did, but she doubled down on a social media platform and kind of continued with it after Aiden's disappearance, and that was really disheartening to see a person do that, because what she doesn't know is that I was sitting at the kitchen table with my son when she called him. And I could see the confusion on my son's face. And I said, "Who is that?" And he goes, "Oh, hang on." Like he's listening to this person. It was clear to me that he didn't really know this person that well. And so when I'm just going to say, what she's saying on what she said on her social media platform is not true. Okay. I was there. I saw my son's reaction. He didn't know her that well. She had some kind of, I don't know if it was jealousy or what.
So she not only messed with him, she made it public. Are you serious? I will have to do some digging to see if I cannot find this. To see if I cannot find this video that they are talking about. This type of stuff cannot stand. Like, he was not only the butt of others' jokes, but they not only did it in school, but they blasted it across the internet. I'm going to have to find this said video, and I'm going to have to go over it in my own personal time. This video could be a key factor of what was going on in his head. And I'm sure that these people have been spoken to and talked to by the LE. So we're not going to drop names. We're not going to drop videos. Well, I'm not going to drop that video. It's insane. And yes, I am on the phone with people who have more information on Aiden than I do. And right now we are conversating here and there. So, and if listen, y'all can drop out. I don't care. Okay, I don't. This is not about one set case. And honestly, it shows colors, true colors of why you all are, why you're here. Okay, it does. You want the drama, you want this, you want that. Well, I'm sorry, I want this young man found. He deserves the spotlight like all the rest. I want this young one found.
What the heck it was? Just she was a troubled person herself. She went to a different high school for kids who needed a different teaching track.
Okay.
And she was in a facility.
Well, what exactly, you're going to have to explain, Amy, what exactly happened. What happened here? What was she trying to do? I mean, what was the situation?
She was trying to, I think, put a wedge in between him and his girlfriend. And I don't know who she was upset with, my son or his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. But she asked him for a ride from this facility. And so I could see this was an unusual situation when I was watching Aiden react, because it was so weird. And I said, who is that? You know, who are you talking to? And he goes, just a minute. And so when he got off the phone, he said, oh, it's so-and-so. I don't really know her, but she needs a ride. And he said, you know, I think people think I'm a really good guy. She must trust me. He started feeling good about it. You know, like, oh, she needs my help, and she's turning to me for help, and that's nice, you know. And I'm gonna go get her mom, and then I'll be back, you know. And I said, well, why aren't her parents picking her up? And he goes, I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't want to talk to them, you know, or something. And I said, well, okay, you know. And I asked him where it was, and he told me. And I said, okay, well, just go there and come right back. You know, it just seems like a weird situation, a weird phone call right from the start.
Okay.
Well, so what she did was she took video of him and she kept in the vehicle and kept grabbing his hand, and he was looking over. Like, I think later, this video got taken down, by the way, and there were people at the end who were saying, like, he looked confused. He didn't look like he felt comfortable with her, you know.
Okay.
She was trying to grab his hand, and it said something, she was posting out there that, like, she found out her boyfriend has a girlfriend or something like that, which is not the case. I mean, it was just this made up, I don't know why she did it. I have no clue why someone would do something like that, other than there's some kind of sour feelings there.
Yeah.
There was some kind of sourness on her part, but what happened is that it ended up going viral, and you know, I really wish that young people would know, you know, it's a joke to you. You think you're going to pull a prank on somebody, you think you're going to cause some little rift or, you know, something like that, and what you end up doing is utterly.
So this girl, from my take it is, this girl tried to diminish not just his relationship, but his character. Why? What was the point of that? What was the point of doing that? Is it funny to watch others crumble? That the point? Sickens me.
Well, really hurting someone.
Yeah.
And so this video, it went viral. You can really hurt someone that way, and don't do it. Don't actively go out and try to hurt people, because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And so Aiden, I guess it was like a week or so later, Aiden was, I came home from work, and I looked down, there was a paper bag by the front door, in the entryway hallway, and there was hair sticking out of it. And I looked in the bag, and there was a lot of hair sticking out of it. All of Aiden's hair. I immediately called him. I said, what is going on? And he was like, nothing, Mom. He was in a state of mania. He was mad. And he was like, nothing, I feel great. And I said, Aiden, what is going on? I was very worried about him. And he's like, no, I'm fine. You know, he was in a state of he was in a manic state. And finally he came home, and I sat with him and tried to get him to tell me, and he said he wouldn't tell me. But that video she uploaded went viral with over like 1 million views. And this girlfriend that he loved so much, of course, it did cause a problem. But I think she was able to see through it. People started to see through it, you know. I don't know what this girl's reputation is, but people started to see through it. And but you know, so this was the first time I'd like seen him in a state of mania. And it took a while for him to calm down. And so he was in therapy more than a few times. You know, there's also the thing with his dad, which was an ongoing. You know, he just had so much that he was dealing with. And that's the thing that I'd like to say. You don't know what people are dealing with. Please do not add to their problems. There's no reason for anybody to go out and actively hurt people. You don't know what's going to happen.
When did this happen? You know, of course, he went missing in 2022. When did this happen with this girl that went viral? When was it?
3 years. It was 3 years prior, before the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he did see a therapist for a while before that too, and then I think I tried to get him to see a therapist after that, and you know, we weren't.
Remember, what you do to others have effect on them. This person went as low as not only diminishing his character, but destroyed his mental state. If you're gonna prank somebody, remember, there's always repercussions. But God bless, much love. And please, if you see something, say something. This young man needs some light, needs to come home. Please. Like I said, given that I don't have full permission to use them, that live I've been using, it's getting broken up in different parts. So that way, hopefully, I don't get copyright. But give me about 20 minutes and we'll come back up for some drama. Because we all love that. But much love. I'll see you guys in about 20-30 minutes for some drama and to see what's popping on these streets. Much love.